Hi, my name is Takeshi Akaogi from the Southeast Burma. We are trying to grow experimental rice since 2006. And the overall result is very promising. And I will talk today the very basic of rice growing and a little bit about the ecological aspect of that. First question, you have this is this. This is 2009 September. There's many varieties trials, and some is good, some is not so good. But overall, it was pretty good. Then probably as a commercial crop, what the next question is that productive enough? The next following year, 2010, it's again produced very beautifully. Then further question, is this reliable on the long term? We don't have a sure answer for that. It's only from 2006. But last year, this past year, it looks most beautiful year we had. From this, about 1/10 of experimental paddy produced more than 500 pounds of brown rice, equivalent of roughly 2 to 3 tons per acre. So what is the basic element you need to consider when you start growing rice? There are 4 basic important things you have to consider. Soil, you have to have a good amount of clay content in your soil in order to hold the water. And the water is also must. Not because of rice needs water, but water gives environment much milder and protects from the cold weather. That extends the season for Northeast. And heat. Rice, Oryza sativa, originated tropical or warmer temperate. It took probably 10,000 years to adapt all the way north for this climate. And we have 300 years of growing history for particularly Northeast climate. And because of that, seed genetic resources are very limited. I will go each one a little bit. This doesn't count?
This one and that one.
This is a Northeast regional map. Just imagine. Okay, I'll tell you. No, back to about center part, there is Champlain. That Champlain Valley have a good amount of clay soil. Upstate New York, along the Central Lawrence River, all the way down, that area also have a good clay content. And of course, around Lake Ontario? Lake Ontario, I think. That also have and those areas have potentially, say, larger scale of operation. And rest of the part don't have much good location, but very sporadically, every farm have a kind of marginal wet place. You can use it for a small operation as a part of other CSA or farmers market, something like that. For the water, why we needed the water, this is early May. Many of you have late frost or cold weather from northwest. And during that time, if you feel the water, it's warming up very nicely during the daytime. And during the night, it protects from the cold. That extends. And also, rice is originally tropical, means that when the panicle develops, it's very susceptible to the cold temperature. if it go below the 12 degree Celsius, say 2-3 days, all the pollen will be destroyed. It means you don't have any crop. So during this time, you will fill 6 inch, 8 inch of water, say during June, early July. And this is a heat. This is just try to help you to figure out your location. This is the sum of growing degree days from May 1st to September 30. This is a general rice growing period. So you can think how suited your area is. My place, Akaogi Farm, I have only 2009 record. It was 1906. Comparing to other Northeast, all these areas are very promising. And let's compare this number with Hokkaido. Hokkaido is the most, they have most research records and breeding program. And those upper parts, Kitami, indicate the coldest part of Hokkaido. And the hip is about central part. And the Hokkaido is the very southern tip of Hokkaido. It is very cold. And that number is 30 years average. Recently, slightly higher, but you can compare with that number. All the rest of the Northeast is a very, and most of the places higher than that number. But one thing you have to remember, California, in the state, coldest climate is Northern California. And Costa California is about 2/3 above San Francisco. But it's not coldest, but number is very high, extremely different than the Northeast. And one reason, they grow rice direct seeded within the longer season for the same varieties. Akaogi Farm, we did good result in 2009, one of the medium grain California varieties, but it was transplanted. So some years, California variety does do well if you transplant, but you have to think about you want to make a gamble or not. About varieties, if you see this is October 3rd, this past season, all the rest of the variety which didn't harvest it yet is California and South Korean. And the center part is a little bit aromatic trial rice. Eventually, I harvest this all, but it is very, very late for my place. But if you let's go back a little. I was 19 or there. There are many places higher than my place in Northeast. Those areas have more luck. Let me explain about rice paddy, how it looks like and how it's functional. This is the most current of our place. There's 3 rice paddy and warming a pond. And left side is a kind of ditch which works as a drainage. Pond is very important. Since early spring, you need warm water from the cold. So pond acts as a warming up facility. As long as the surface is big enough, it will warm up. And surface water you can irrigate to your paddy. And this is very important, especially if you go north the most marginal area, if you not grow. So south, it's less necessity. And also rice needed most of the water needed during August and September. When a plant matures, then they need a lot of water. So during that time, Northeast don't have enough precipitation, no rain enough. So you need storage of water to supplement. And also, left side drainage is important. The party have to design, you can control water. If you want or if you need it, you have to drain completely and make it dry. So bigger machinery can go in. Now paddy. Paddy is a very shallow, flat bottom pond. And also you can adjust the depth of the water. Up to now the general. And this is a during course of our experiment, what kind of, we had a lot of problem, difficulty. Basically the information is very scarce. But this main problem or concern, during course we realized there are many things to concern. It's not just a grow rice. It's a lot of other issues we have to deal with, because since this is a completely new crop, also using the aquatic system, it is also quite new compared to dry land agriculture. And I cannot talk all of this, so just concentrate the ecological part. As soon as you construct rice paddy like this, it starts to function man-made wetland. Wetland function like this: hydrologically flood control, erosion control, filtration, and groundwater recharge. Also biologically create a lot of diversity of life. And this is also you have to remember this. Last 200 years, we destroyed half of natural wetland already. And natural wetland function very important, especially like flood control, along with wooded forest, work together to protect, reduce the risk of flood significantly. Last year, hurricane exceeded that, and if you remember that we destroyed half of the wetland, it's also one of the contributions. By doing growing rice, you can deal with this little bit from this dry land by changing. You remember the reserve at the pond can be recharge the water, apply water, hurricane pump, and storage lot of water. Paddy itself, if it's 12-inch deep, if it's a whole acres of land, that much water you can storage. And also, if you create wetland, these natural creature comes in. And the rice paddy it seems quite an interest environment to encourage and restore. And I'd like to show from here the more wildlife, what happened after since 2006. That animals comes in without introduction. Just they found their way. And how much it changed. Breeding song of first I grew breeding song of frog. We didn't hear so much before this, but after this, these are people and starting the migratory frog, and toad is there, American toad is coming in, and soon green frog is coming in. Some breed on site, and some come just as a feeding. Can you go next? After this, it's kind of from spring to fall, how rice paddy progress, with what kind of animal I observe. Next slide. It's just 4 minutes, so just relax and you can sleep if you don't like it. Lights have a quite diversity of brown to purple and blue. It's just so interesting flow. Can you make a big color screen? This is a folding phone. So I use it, of course. Okay. Painted paddle, and that's a sandpiper species. I don't know what it is. And this is a middle of April. Toad, green before, and light is very small. That's a tadpole of, I think, American toad. And dragonfly comes, wild duck, green heron, that's a robin. And different sandpiper. They stop part of the migration course to the north. And the damselfly, toad is still breeding. That's a green dana laying egg on a stem of rice. Blue frog. And July, the front is cover most of the paddy. If you see that. So water is not going to heat up so much anymore. It's kind of more steady. And if you especially fill it up deep, you protect from the cold spell, pollen protect. And even mountain snake, if you see the heron, they are eating something and have to be rocks. And paddy could produce such a baseline of animals or bottom of the food chain by applying a compost or any fertilizer, stimulate plankton. Plankton stimulate the next level and next level. And if you see the big birds, and the bees also use pollen. And even within such a small ecosystem, it's quite complicated already. It's not so simple. That gives us advantage of the kind of way of pest control. The biodiversity way of, it's not necessarily 100% efficient, but disease and the insect problem will be least. This is about harvesting time. This is now. So can we go back? So the concluding, rice is productive and very promising, but still lots of research and experience needed in order to become a commercial crop. But also fundamental question of this type of ecological approach is worth or not worth, or that kind of question needed to be addressed and answered. And immediately, we like to know how to decide the last line. What kind of rice paddy ecosystem or best ecosystem for each location? What kind of targeted species and how to design the paddy and surrounding landscape. And all these are way too much for one farmer to deal with, and we need more people to plant experience. And also, that way, we can bring other researchers within the circle. And so please start trying. There is abundant possibility, especially if you have a soil, good soil, and good heat and water. It's kind of interesting crop.